Hi, I'm Ted.
I'm Penny, and we are the Crumbleys from McDonough, Georgia.
We want to tell you about my journey with multiple myeloma, the journey we're going through with God's assistance. But first, let us tell you a little bit about ourselves. We were married on May 22nd, 1987, and we dated for about 2 years, and we were engaged one of those 2 years.
We didn't expect any children, or at least I didn't, because the doctor had told me years ago that I would not be able to have children, and even if I did, I would have a lot of problems.
We knew we liked children and would love to have at least one child, I think, but this was not an expectation of us getting married. And I told Penny that it was not a problem if she couldn't have children. So a couple years later, after prayer, and we also we prayed together. We also had other friends in our church pray.
We received a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Without any problems. Jacqueline was born in 1987. 1989, sorry.
When we got engaged, I was trying to figure out, and I guess you shouldn't figure these things out, because it doesn't really matter what the career of the person God's chosen for you is. God's blessing it, but I just always wondered why I married a nurse, or I was engaged to a nurse. It seemed to be a great thing, but because it was certainly a financial blessing over the years. We've had a great love for one another. She loves me. I don't know why sometimes, but she loves me, and
that could go either way.
Even greater is she always has had a tremendous love for God, and. During my first round of treatments, I realized God had looked ahead in time and saw my need to help me through this journey in life. Mm-hmm. You see, he knew before I was born, and this multiple myeloma disease and everything is cancer did not take him by surprise. And she's been a tremendous help. She's been able to ask questions to the doctors that I would have never thought about, and manage my medicines and treatments, schedules like a true champion. In the fall of 2019, our cancer journey started. Because I was a little bit anemic on some of my labs, and the doctor tested and he found an elevation of protein in my blood. Which was very surprising, and I believe this was ordained by God because it was a tremendous heads up. Mm-hmm. He sent me to a local oncologist who later diagnosed me with smoldering myeloma. This phase of myeloma, which is kind of a precancer condition, experienced prior to the onset of multiple myeloma. And I asked him, what does this really mean, as far as my future? And he said, well, more than likely, the multiple myeloma will become active in about 3 to 5 years.
The phase that he was in with smoldering myeloma is called surveillance. And what they do is it requires blood and or urine, 24-hour urine test, to be done about every 3 months. So you feel like you're on a deadline. Is this the day that it's going to happen, that I'm going to be positive or active? But God, thank goodness, he had this all planned a long time ago, and he was preparing us, because some people do not get the chance to have this pre-cancer phase, the smoldering myeloma, before they know that it is full active multiple myeloma. They begin experiencing very vague symptoms. And vague, I mean by back pain, bone pain, shoulder pain, that kind of stuff. Very vague, that could be explained by other things.
We had a wonderful have had a wonderful life together, and before and after and during the smoldering myeloma diagnosis, I shared with Penny how wonderful a life that we'd had together. I knew that for many reasons I was at a high risk for sudden illness, specifically, of course, for myeloma, and also the due to diabetes for years. And of course, I was over 55, so my the chances of heart attack, stroke, all those things come up, and so we already knew we loved each other, but our respect and our love for each other has grown tremendously the last few years. As we have trusted God to help us through, our love has grown continually.
At first, it was natural for us to feel frustrated and depressed. Who wouldn't? It's like your world is just it's changing. Mm-hmm. It really is. It will change your life.
That's right. I remember when I had multiple myeloma, not multiple myeloma, I'm sorry, but when I was at the smoldering myeloma phase, I would have to go about every quarter, every 3 or 4 months to get labs done at the cancer center, see the doctor, evaluate my labs, and each 3 or 4 months we would go through that process. And one day when I was coming out of the cancer center, I got on the elevator with this other gentleman. Just said hi like you would do normally, and but he immediately started talking. He started saying, "Hey, this cancer can be beat. There's a lot of research going on. People who died from certain cancers years ago now can have an opportunity for treatment and it be successful." And he started sharing about God and how God can help in this situation and through this situation. And I was very encouraged by this. One, because that day honestly I was feeling a little frustrated, and every time I went to the doctor, with smoldering myeloma, I would wonder, is this the day? I'm going to find out. Here I go. But at that point, I was able to share with him, and he shared with me, and we walked all through the parking lot. Matter of fact, he walked by almost right by his car, to continue talking with me, and he followed me all the way across to the hospital parking lots to continue talking. And when I got to my car, we stopped and continued to talk for a moment, and then he asked, "Can I pray with you?" And I said, "Sure, that would be awesome." He prayed with me, and it was a wonderful experience. God had not only sent his son for me on my behalf to die for me, but he sent somebody on that day to talk to me and to share the blessings of God and encourage me during this difficult time. And it's been a wonderful memory of what God has done. It's just one example of how God has helped bring us through this illness and this condition.
Let me ask you some questions. Did the guy get on the elevator with you on the floor that the doctor's office is on?
Yes.
Did you see him before?
I didn't see him before. I didn't notice.
So where did he come from?
I don't know. I didn't see him get in his car and leave because I was on the other side of the hospital. So
I'm not saying he was an angel, but sometimes God does send people that you just don't know.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, he was a man on a mission. Yes. And he was engaged in ministry. And he felt the calling to talk to me that day. And I certainly appreciated him being obedient to the Lord,
We also want to tell you that our next video, we're not really sure when it's going to come out, but we will have another video, and it's going to be about Ted's beginning of multiple myeloma, which starts 3 years later.
We do appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when a new video is available. As Penny said earlier, you know, this video series is not about just cancer. It's about God helping us through those difficult times. And whether you have cancer or maybe you have another condition, multiple myeloma currently is not a curable disease. So, you know, you may have another disease yourself that's not curable or what have you, or maybe you have a friend who has it and you may find this video to be helpful to you.